Welcome back to Networthy Podcast, where we provide coverage on all things NBA. I'm your co-host El Jefe, and I'm joined here by my fellow members of the SFN crew. How y'all fellas doing?
Listen, okay. It's another day in paradise. Shout out to Dune too. Trying to see that soon.
What was that?
I'm trying to see Dune 2 soon.
Uh,
Man, but
ah,
yeah, another week. Happy to be here.
Oh man. All right. Well, let's get right into it. We're here to talk about what's going on in the world. March Madness has finally approached. Everything's getting crazy in the college world, and we are here to talk about it. Man, how y'all fellas feeling about this year's college tournament and who y'all think is gonna come out on top?
well, actually, what's everybody's final four?
Mm.
Ooh, so everybody's final four. Ooh,
Um, Out of the Midwest, I hate to say this because whenever I say things like this, it never comes true. But I personally like Tennessee or Kansas out of the Midwest. Out of the South,
you mean Kansas, who's currently losing 56-49? But that's fine. Continue.
yeah, no, they are. I mean, 16 minutes left, but I think Kansas can pull it out. If they don't,
Just saying, this is fine. Carry on. I didn't mean to interrupt. I should have waited until
no, no,
after.
no, no, you're good. I mean, that is a valid point. I think Kansas has played in a lot of tough games, but yeah, that Furphy just missed a very makeable mid-range jump shot. And I think Gonzaga's playing really good basketball, unfortunately for Kansas. And Kansas lost they lost to Houston. They got obliterated by Houston now. So I mean, they might not be for real right now, but if not Kansas, I like Tennessee out of the Midwest and the South. Duke, maybe. I got Duke, Houston, or Marquette. I'm just gonna go Duke just because Duke does that, even though I dislike Duke. So I guess Tennessee, Duke, UConn, and North Carolina, Arizona.
Sure. Okay, so what I'm going with, let's start with the East. Definitely gonna go UConn. UConn's a very solid team overall. We'll stick with that. Their bracket itself, who they have left to play, I can't see nobody giving them any issues outside of maybe Illinois because Illinois is a tough team, but still, I'll go UConn out of the East. Out of the South, looking at Houston. Um, I once again can't see anybody, including Duke, can't see them beating Houston at all because Houston's a very solid team, very well coached team, and yeah, nobody in that like division over there can beat them at all. So Midwest is a little bit tough, but I'm going with Zaga out of there. Um, they're gonna beat Kansas today, and they'll steamroll Purdue when they play them. So definitely going through them, and nobody else can touch them in that division. And then of course the West, we're gonna go with North Carolina.
Is that biased or is that like
It's not biased. It's just fact.
Bias.
It's a
All
fact.
right. Well,
It's a fact. Let's just carry
Bias.
on, buddy.
well, I'll start with the easiest one. Just like everybody said, I'm gonna definitely stick in the East with UConn for sure. Um, in the West, I'm a rock with North Carolina. I think they could get it done. Let's see. In the South, it's gonna be between either Duke or Marquette. I think either one of them will get it done. But I'll rock with Duke just for entertainment purposes. And then in the Midwest, Gonzaga always folds. They always find a way every year to fold, and that's going to be the case. I don't think they'll get past Purdue in the next round, to be honest. But when it's all said and done, I think Tennessee may get them out of this. So I'm gonna rock with Tennessee in the Midwest. Those are my final four.
Well then, I guess I'll be the heartbreak bubble buster. Illinois is coming out of the East. Um,
Love it.
out
Move
of
on.
out of the West, you're gonna have Arizona. They were just too dominant today just to see And granted, the real test is going to be Baylor for them because Baylor should cook Clemson, in my personal opinion. But once again, Clemson comes out and plays, is going to be a game. But I have Arizona coming out of the West. Um, Outside of that, we're going down to the Midwest first. In the Midwest, I either have Kansas or Purdue. Personally,
Didn't you just say that Kansas is down 9? What?
That is down right now by
I'm being
7.
honest. I'm being honest. I can't just change up now. I'm being
Okay,
honest.
you because you got me, so I was like, wait, now, but we agree at the same time. That's
I mean, I'm just gonna keep it a bean. Like I personally, like you said, there's a lot of time left. 55 left on the clock. Granted, they just hit 2 free throws, so it's one of those situations where they got to make sure Hunter's getting in the groove. They got to move the ball through Hunter. I'm a big Hunter Dickerson fan. He's from the area, so once again, and he played basketball with my brothers as well. So Hunter Dickerson and the blood ties run deep with the Johnsons. So it's more so figuring out exactly how they're going to finish this game off strong and get to where they need to get, which is the next round. If Gonzaga wins this game, Gonzaga's not going to have enough to deal with Purdue, so I do see Purdue winning out. Since we are in the situation we are, I will say that just flat out like that. If Gonzaga does come out, they don't really have a chance against Zagidis. Zagidis playing really high-powered basketball right now, and granted, it's his last year. So you would expect that, especially from a 7'4" center who's still in a questionable position on getting on the NBA team. Moving back up to the South, I have a rocky finish, but I feel like if anyone's going to pull it off, it's going to be us. I have Duke coming out of the South as the contenders to beat Houston. It's once again, we have a young core, and John Shire's done well with the team this season, but it's the main thing, and the main thing we have to push is defense and communication. Houston does that well without being asked, and KS is a really good coach. Learned from him for a couple coaches seminars via YouTube. Shout out to that. But I just say Marquette could handle Houston. If it came down to Houston and Marquette, I would say that. I feel like Duke is just as fluid as Marquette with the way they have their guard sets. So that's why I would say that's why I would say Duke over Marquette. So that's why I have Duke winning the South. So those are my final 4.
Hey, y'all stay biased. Anyway,
What was that?
let's go. No, no, looking on.
Kansas
He
is
said,
down.
Joe, now he said Duke's not making it out of the Sweet 16.
Hunter Dickinson just put up a terrible shot, and Kansas
I'll
is
be logged in, y'all. 7:45, right?
61-49.
7:45?
5:30.
5:45.
5:45 is
5:44, 5:45.
and UNC. I like Tom Izzo though, man. Tom Izzo's a good coach. Now,
I love it. I
does he
love
have
it. Well,
enough to take
I
on
have enough.
Armando Baycott?
Once again,
You got to show
and I'll
up.
tell you, what I told a couple coworkers that ended up messaging me and apologizing. It's gonna come down to the refs and it's gonna come down to foul trouble. Your best 2 players get into foul trouble within that first 10 minutes of that half. They're done for the rest of that half. You're cooked. And you have to rely on your bench players to be able to sustain. And if they can't, you're going to be a situation where you're fighting back. Now your best player is doing things that he doesn't have to at a faster pace, trying to avoid also picking up fouls in that same. But once again, smart coach is going to have his smarter players attacking those players in foul trouble, especially if they start seeing the refs are calling things of that extent. It only makes sense to do that. So once again, a lot of these games now are going to come down to the refs. It seems as watching right there in this Kansas and Gonzaga game, they called, what was that? They called a reach, or they called it with the body on the ground. So once again, they're trying to fill up the stats as far as making it easy in the bonus for teams to get to. So
Yeah, I think
everything touch worthy is getting called.
I think this game's over. Zaga just hit a 3. It's 13 left. I think Kansas, I don't know. It's unfortunate. They've kind of checked out. I think this is one of those moments where it's
You can't leave him open like that.
yeah. I think
That's one thing Kansas is getting bit for. They're having Hunter trail too much. They have to go more of that 1-3-1 that they went mid-season. Now they're
Yeah.
having Hunter. See, Hunter's tired now. Hunter's just pulling the ball. Got it. Got burn one. Got burn one. And you can't stop Neberhart from dribbling the ball with his right hand. You guys are gonna lose this game. Burnley has one hand. He's not his brother.
Yeah, it's looking spooky for Kansas, but I mean, Gonzaga's always been a good basketball program. They may not have the most flashiest players, but there's nice play. They're very sound. They know how to play fundamental basketball, and these are the moments that they live for. So
And see, moves like that, players have to realize and see that in that initial move set, he was already off balance. So the fake of the initial, I'm gonna run through and staying, he's already off balance. He's trying to come back. He's gonna fall. That's the only reason that foul was just called. But inbounds.
Okay. Well, we got a lot more action coming up on Sunday as well. In that first game, Marquette and Colorado play. You think Colorado has any chance to make anything happen?
Colorado played a good game against Florida, a tough Florida team yesterday. So they do have a chance, but Marquette's tough, man. Marquette, tough coach team, and they're good on their bench. they just have a lot of depth overall. So no, I'm saying Marquette for sure. It'll be a close game. Marquette.
So I will say Colorado did get, I won't say they got lucky. They played great basketball, which allowed them to get a great shot, which allowed them to win that game. Looking at the numbers as far as going against Marquette, Colorado does rebound them better, 37.7 to 32.8. Majority of those coming on the defensive end, a lot of assists, or should I say about 2 point more assists on Colorado end, 16.0 versus 15.8. Marquette tends to get a lot of their points off of fast breaks and transitions. So for the most part, if you slow them down in transition and make them play in half court sets, it's harder for them to get easy opportunities. They'll have to score off of their sets, which sometimes is harder for them to do, especially if Tyler Kolek's not operating at a high level of vision, which has been seen at times. But the one thing that they do still have over Colorado is that they still have fewer turnovers with 9.9 and Colorado has 12.8. So it's just going to be one of those situations that you got to hope all of their big hitters are on. So, for example, their big minute man is K. Simpson on Colorado. He averages about 35 minutes a game. Probably their higher averaging guy, averages about 47.7 from the field, 44.1 from the 3-point line. So it's one of those games where he's going to have to contribute the way he's supposed to. Versus, like I said, Tyler Kolek, another Iron Man guy from Marquette, 32.6, been there for 3 years now. Just handling and doing what he has to do. So I see that game is coming down to a cruncher, to be honest, but it is possible for Colorado to pull out of that game with a win. It's just going to depend on, like I said, foul trouble and the consistency of the calls.
Very possible.
Yeah, definitely anything's possible during March Madness time. You got a lot more games during the day. Hey, I'm gonna ask you a question, Sav, that's getting ready to irk your nerves. Any chance James Madison pulls off an upset?
Damn you.
Candy was sour. Relax on me. Ooh. James Madison beating us as a fan? Absolutely not. As an unbiased analyst, looking at the points, looking at the way everything can break down, it is possible. They average just about what 30 that's not 30%. I'm reading incorrectly. About 48% from the field. We're about 48% as well from the field. 37.9 for us, 3-point range, 36.6 for them in 3-point range. So it's going to come down to more so on the offensive boards. They grab better boards, more boards than us, correction, with 38.9 rebounds total, offense and defense, and with us 36.5. So it's just going to come down to, honestly, if Mr. I'm 2 days into college, if he comes and shows up, yeah, we may just win all of the games and go to the Final Four, yeah. So it's really, I'm not up to me, yeah. It's up to Jerry McCain and them, yeah. They're going to go ahead and get Filipkowski with the dunk, turn the alley-oop, yeah. What are you talking about? But let me reel it back in. But I do see it going to be a good game to the first half. JMU is a very punch you in the mouth team currently. They have been in the last couple of years. They've been really good with that. So it's more so if you can keep them from getting into their flow of basketball, it'll be a good game for Duke tomorrow. But other than that, you just got to play your cards because once again, this is March. Everything is everything.
Yeah, you're right about that. We got other exciting matchups like Clemson and Baylor, Grand Canyon, Alabama, Northwestern and UConn, Texas A&M and Houston play, and Yale and
Michigan State and North Carolina. That's going to be a thriller this evening. Yeah, that's going to be a real good one. Oh my gosh. It's just Mr. Izzo is in a position to do some things. And I can't call it. It's not for me to say. But as an analyst looking in, it's just stats are fairly even down. They're both about 36% from the 3-point line. Free throws, Michigan averages about 70% of free throws. North Carolina 75. From the field, Michigan's about 48, and North Carolina's 45. So it's going to be a good battle. Rebound wise, they do lead with one of the better board grabbers in the NCAA with Armando Bacot. And he's from around, so we show love and respect that. 29.4 for their rebounds and 27.4 for Michigan. Oh, correction. I apologize. 41.7 in rebounds and 35.1 for Michigan. So high number of difference all in all. But I say, like I said, it's going to be a tough game. I can see Michigan winning that game by 5.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Tom Izzo. I've always been a fan of Tom Izzo, even though guys like Gary Harris are on podcasts and stuff saying that Tom Izzo's a dickhead. But I mean, like that's just what it takes to be a coach or have longevity in NCAA. You know what I mean? He does win. He knows how to prep his team for these big games. Wayne, what do you think? Do you think Carolina is going to be prepped for a Tom Izzo coach Michigan State team when the bright lights are up?
Man, it's gonna be a tough game. I know that much, especially going against top Israel. But nah, we have a plan. We're gonna execute that plan, and we get the job done. It'll be a close win, but we'll get the job done.
yeah, definitely. I don't think North Carolina's done just yet. I don't see Michigan getting them out. I mean, it may be a close game and all, but I don't think North Carolina's done just yet. Not this early. They
Yeah,
split.
They're one of those teams, though, man. You mess around with Michigan State, they are going to make you pay. Especially Tom Izzo coach teams, they are going to make you pay if you let them hang around.
remember, you got to think about where the game's at. The game's in Charlotte. It's in the Hornets Stadium, so
That's
big
fair.
home crowd for the too.
Little home cooking.
Mm-hmm. So, see how it
Yeah,
goes.
it could get ugly for Michigan. You never know.
Okay, Patriots in the league. Sorry, got sidetracked. That shit was cool.
Yeah, Kansas is down 18 now with 10 minutes. It's
It's
nasty.
a wrap. It's all a wrap, man. It's all a wrap. That wrap that one up in a bow.
Yeah, this one is over with.
Well, looks like Gonzaga moves on. Let's go
What's up, man?
Tennessee.
But like I said earlier, man, Gonzaga is the team that folds every year. They're just never that serious. So it's coming.
They fold in the Final Four.
They're not
Sweet
getting
16.
they're not getting past Purdue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Their point guard is very
We
effective though. Like
we
he
need to be
looks like
folded.
he's getting the ball to guys in the right spots. You know what I mean? He's not selfish. We were talking about this earlier today at the gym. It's just like if your basketball team
Wait, you went to the gym this morning and tell nobody? Interesting.
It's crazy work.
Interesting.
if you okay, well, if you want to come next Saturday, we can get some work in.
Interesting development.
Interesting developments, yeah. If you want to, we can get some work in next Saturday morning. Or what? Actually, you want to come Wednesday morning? We can go on Wednesday morning.
Brother.
Is that
I
a
don't
yes
go to
or no?
bed till 3 a.m. normally during the week.
Well, no, I mean I
I'm
do.
up at 6 a.m. to get ready to go to work.
All right, so then we'll have to look at Saturday then. But
But I'm more than welcome to do that after. Absolutely.
well, because no, I mean, my boy, he gives me the opening in the mornings. So, but I do understand that because like
We can
I
go
go,
Saturday morning then.
right.
Oh, damn! It's over. I'm turning this off.
But, you know,
Nah.
that's where we're discussing because if in March Madness, a lot of these teams with really sound point guards that can either distribute the ball or score or a combination of both. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those teams are just really successful, even if some of these point guards don't necessarily translate to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? These point guards are the guys that are like, getting everybody involved. These teams just tend to move a little bit more fluid. So I think Gonzaga's point guard is absolutely outplaying Candace's.
Do you guys think we'll see any more of that today?
Any
Any
what?
more any more point guards out playing another point guard?
I
I
think Tennessee's
mean, point guard battles. Yeah, you got other point guard battles you have today. What is his name?
Or even tomorrow?
I mean, Tennessee's point guard is a good. He's good. They got. I think they have a. I think they have a brother battle.
Nah, what's cousin's name on? What's the name?
Creighton.
You got R.J. Davis on North Carolina going against uh Tyron Walker on Michigan State. That's a good guard matchup, actually.
Who is Tennessee's point guard? Because
Izzo son may get some burn.
I know Ziegler. He's been nice for the past couple of years. He's kind of just been holding it down for Tennessee. So, but I think they have a brotherly matchup today. If it wasn't the last game they played.
Oh. March Madness tournament is definitely getting interesting, and things are definitely heating up. And we definitely going to stay tuned to the March Madness and see who makes it to the Sweet 16, the Final Four, and who ends up winning the whole entire thing. So we'll have to make a part 2 real soon. So make sure you stay tuned, subscribe to our YouTube channel, strictly at Networthy Basketball Podcast, and we'll catch y'all next time.
NCAA basketball, baby. Let's go.